I'm attempting to eat the entire Cheesecake Factory menu in 1 year, a whopping 275 items in 365 days. And to help me get ahead on accomplishing this completely pointless challenge that nobody is forcing me to do besides my own intrusive thoughts, I'm only going to eat Cheesecake Factory for the next 3 days for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The rules are I have to eat from the factory 3 times a day, 9 in total. I have to have at least 1 piece of cheesecake per day. Damn it. Oh, man. I have to dine in at least twice a day, but I can take a meal to go because eating at sit-down restaurants takes a long time. And I can only eat food from here, but I am allowed the occasional beverage outside of Cheesecake Factory. What? And before I get going on another stretch of food degeneracy, or what I just call another day in my life, I had to do 3 quick steps first. First, I walked 4 miles on a treadmill because it's cold as balls outside, but also to help accomplish my goal of moving 10 miles and burning 1,500 calories a day during these eating challenges. And since Cheesecake Factory portions are massive, I need to work out as much as I can. Because step number 2, I'm trying to see if I will lose weight while doing this.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And oh my goodness, I've gained a lot of weight recently, so I should probably start eating healthy soon. I've said this a lot on this channel, now haven't I? And third, since the Cheesecake Factory to me is a very classy joint, particularly because the places I do eating challenges typically aren't that fancy, I decided that I had to look classy. And I'll only be eating 2 things this week: Cheesecake Factory and the enormous sunk costs of having 9 meals here. For meal 1 at Cheesecake Factory, Bill met up with me because, as always, he likes to monitor me from the beginning to end of a challenge to see how stupid I'm really being.
Let's do it.
Also, please do not try this at home. I am a professional dumbass. For my first meal, I got a salted caramel cheesecake, a toasted marshmallow s'mores galore cheesecake, and a coffee. And looking at my order just now, you're probably thinking, wow, that's really weird that you got a coffee. No, you're probably actually like, why the hell did you get 2 cheesecakes? So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the original idea for this video was to only eat cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory for 3 days, but then after I took my first few bites of the first cheesecake, I was like, yeah, this is a pretty stupid fucking idea. But I've done a lot of 3-day eating challenges where I don't get a lot of nutrition, and I don't really want to do it again. It makes me feel sad, and I don't want to feel sad. I want to feel the opposite of sad, which is not sad. But also, I have 275 items to consume here, and if I only have cheesecake the next 3 days, that's not going to help me get ahead, which is the entire point of this video. So I decided instead of having cheesecake for 3 days, I'll just have cheesecake for 3 days. Does that make sense? No, of course it doesn't. Nothing I do here makes sense. Bill had a great time eating normal food and watching me spill whipped cream all over my blazer maybe 5 times during this meal. I literally just picked up my dry cleaning before filming this. But also, these cheesecakes were insanely delicious, so I wasn't too upset after leaving here. I thought I could just like house 2 cheesecake slices. Definitely cannot do it. Also, I have a lot of anxiety this morning. Sometimes I get that. It sucks. It's part of living in Cleveland in February. It's very short of breath and my appetite wasn't very good. I still had a little bit of anxiety upon getting back to my apartment. A lot of it because we don't get a lot of sunlight here in Cleveland in February, among another reason that I'll reveal to you guys later in the video. But what usually helps me feel a little better is playing Stardew Valley, a very chill and relaxing farming game. Real ball knowers know. In addition to getting some editing done and reading, and yes, I read now, which proves that there are miracles in life because I can't usually read a room, let alone a book. And those things did take away some anxiety, which is fantastic because whenever I have anxiety, I don't really eat a lot of food, so now I'm very hungry. Unfortunately for me, I still have to eat at Cheesecake Factory twice today. So I'm gonna go there now. Now, all week I'd gotten a lot of messages on an update for the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Cheesecake Factory is adding 20 items to its menu right now. We're talking appetizers, entrees, cocktails, you name it.
And people are saying, oh my goodness, this is a really bad update for you. What are you gonna do? And I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ignore it. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to have 275 items from the Cheesecake Factory menu no matter what. Not one more, not one less. And if that makes you upset, well, please stop because I don't like when people are upset. I was supposed to do this project in 1 month, like eating all 275 items at Cheesecake Factory in 1 month. And then I came here on the first day and I was like, I will die. I will literally die if I do this. And yes, that is a true story about how I still don't understand how eating food works. Anyways, for meal 2, I had a pineapple cherry limeade, a spicy crispy chicken sandwich, sweet potato fries, and green beans. Now, I'm not counting drinks with alcohol in it on the Cheesecake Factory menu project because that would give me the Guinness Book of World Records for being the drunkest person on the planet. But I am counting all non-alcoholic menu items that Cheesecake Factory offers because I have no self-control. Since there are way more entrees than on appetizers on the menu. Eventually, I'm going to run out of appetizers to pair with entrees, and I'm only going to have like 1 to 2 items per meal as opposed to the current 3 to 4 items per meal. But since I'm just starting out, that is future Joey's problem, and future Joey's gonna hate current Joey for that. The pineapple cherry limeade is absolutely ridiculous. It's pretty high up on my list of Cheesecake Factory items I've had so far. And that reminds me, a lot of people have asked me to rank the 275 items I'm going to consume at the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm here to let you know that I'm not going to do that. No, just kidding. I'm going to do that because that sounds like a lot of fun. At the end of the video, how about this? I will reveal my top 5. Does that work? Okay, thanks. I'm just talking to myself here currently. I really enjoyed the spicy crispy chicken sandwich. It had a pretty good kick to it. And hot take, sweet potato fries are better than regular fries. I'm not even sure if that's really a hot take. I think a lot of people agree with that. And the green beans were green beans, which makes sense if you think about it. Also, shout out this person who texted me during meal 2 wishing me life, prosperity, and the ability to control my bowels and not have to shit under a bridge again like I may have done during my Skyline Chili video.
If anybody goes to the river under this like bridge in Columbus, give it like 2 to 3 days.
Again, that is allegedly. I'm 2 meals in and I've already had 7 items from the Cheesecake Factory, which is fantastic because it's really helped me get ahead on my year-long challenge. And I'm really enjoying this challenge so far because it's impossible to get flavor fatigue here since the menu is big enough to be a New York Times bestseller. I then took my final meal of the day to go since I've already been here twice today because believe it or not, I do have a life. Also, that's not true. I don't have a life.
I think I've spent like plus tip $160.
I walked a little over 4 miles on the treadmill to help me get over my goals of 10 miles and 1,500 calories burnt on the day. I've been really happy with myself recently because it's very hard to walk and run outside because the sidewalks are pretty icy and it's cold outside. And I hated treadmills. Treadmills were my mortal enemy, and now I'm actually really enjoying being on a treadmill, so go me.
Fall for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Anyways, after hitting my fitness goals on the day, I rewarded myself and the boys with mango key lime pie cheesecake. Yes, this is mango key lime pie cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. You have, wow.
I am going to
You're crushing it, brother.
I'm going to the city.
And I drank a guava sparkler, which I'm being told by my producer currently that guava is in fact a fruit. Also, I don't have a producer. I'm just talking to myself again. And we had a great time eating the cheesecake on our podcast called Chipheads, which I'm definitely not shamelessly plugging right now. However, all that cheesecake consumption and being a content sellout completely distracted me from the fact that I didn't eat another Cheesecake Factory item that night at all.
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot to eat dinner tonight. And you're probably like, how could you, out of all people, forget to eat dinner tonight?
I just had a slice of cheesecake and a drink derived from a fruit that I just found existed 30 seconds ago, which kind of sets me back on this challenge, but not really. I just want the plot to thicken a little bit. I'll be just fine.
No cheesecake for me tonight, but I have breakfast tomorrow.
After day 1, I've consumed 9 items, an average of 3 per meal. I've had 3 slices of cheesecake, a new career high for me, so please clap. And I've burnt 2,115 calories and moved 13.15 miles. But like I said at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know if I gained or lost weight, and spoiler alert, Day 2 started off nicely with an ad from Factor. That's really weird that the script that I wrote says that. No, it's not. If you have been in the unfortunate situation where you have consumed too many of my videos and have realized that you are consistently losing brain cells at a very rapid pace, you have seen that I am a complete disaster when it comes to food, planning, and food planning. But fortunately for me, that's where Factor comes in to save the day. They have a weekly menu of 35 options for ready-to-eat meals, including keto, protein plus, vegan and veggie, and calorie smart.
Roasted tomato and feta cavatappi. I literally have no idea what that is, but it's probably amazing.
They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which allows me to spend more time focusing on perfecting my fake laugh whenever I'm on a conference call. The best part about Factor is the food is actually good, unlike whenever I cook food. And in case you didn't know, there is a show that airs quite frequently about the worst cooks in America, and I'm so bad at cooking, I was on 2 seasons. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50SIRYACHT to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50SIRYACHT at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thank you very much, Factor, for sponsoring this video because I am getting way too financially irresponsible for these videos. Day 2 actually started with me having leftovers from what I was supposed to eat the night before. So for meal 4, I had green chili chicken enchiladas and mac and cheese. And is this something that you should have for breakfast? Probably not. Do I care? Absolutely not. I don't typically eat breakfast like I did a bunch of times in my previous video where the entire premise of the video was to eat breakfast. And you can probably tell that I don't ever eat breakfast because I'm having this for breakfast. But it was a solid start to the day. The food was good as always. And now to address the cliffhanger from day 1, one of the big reasons why I've had some anxiety recently is because I'm going down to Columbus to see if I'm going to adopt a dog or not. Now, I live by myself currently and do a lot of traveling for YouTube projects, so even though I love dogs more than anything, I've never really considered getting a dog. But that was until I saw a dog at the Franklin County shelter in Columbus, Ohio, whose name is Harley. Harley is a deaf dog who is so unbelievably calm, and he's like the best dog ever. And I really have an affection for any dog that might be overlooked due to some sort of trait they have or some sort of disability. My parents' dogs don't listen to me anyway, so a deaf dog doesn't really bother me at all. I had an absolute blast petting and walking Harley around the Franklin County dog shelter. It really felt like I had a connection with him, and all the employees and volunteers agreed that they don't really know why he's still there because he literally is the best dog ever. And that's when I found out from somebody at the shelter that the previous day a family put a hold on Harley to see if they could adopt him today, and they were scheduled right after me to meet with Harley again to see if they were going to adopt him. So although I was bummed that somebody else was going to adopt Harley, I was really happy for him because he does deserve a home. He's an amazing dog, and I promise whoever gets him, that's going to be the best decision they ever make in their entire life. And after Harley took a dump outside that was so big that even I was impressed by it, I went to visit my girlfriend Kelsey since she lives in Columbus, but I'm also an idiot and completely forgot to film that interaction. In fact, the only proof I had from our hangout was this thing I had to sign to get into her work office. And yes, that is my real email, bob@bob.bob. And also, before I forget, on the way down, I did have a Starbucks double shot coffee, so this is your first chance to boo me for sport. On the way back to Cleveland, I stopped at a cheesecake factory nearby, because that's the premise of this video in case you didn't read the title or listen to anything I said up until right now for some reason. For my 5th meal overall, I dined in and got crab wontons, passion mint fizz, Sprite, and an Impossible burger. I ordered 2 drinks because it's a very easy way to trick the audience into thinking I'm consuming a lot more items at Cheesecake Factory when in reality they're just 2 liquids. And it's also not really tricking when you reveal what your trick is. The passion mint fizz was insanely refreshing, like all of their non-alcoholic drinks I've had up until this point. It's so insane to me that Cheesecake Factory has just a behemoth of a menu and everything on it is basically good. So if you work at Cheesecake Factory and decide what goes on that menu, I just want to shake your hand.
I'm gonna shake your hand. I want to shake his hand.
The crab wontons were also one of my favorite items I've had so far, despite crabs not being anywhere near Cleveland or the Lake Erie shores. And there's no crabs here, baby. I showered today. Hey, yo! I don't have Impossible meat too often, aka a plant-based meat substitute, and boy does Cheesecake Factory have a banger Impossible burger. Sure is impossible for me to hate this meal. This might be my favorite meal I've had so far. I also enjoyed sitting at the bar because it's typically quicker service and I feel like I'm more social whenever I sit there. And Lord knows that I should not be inside this head talking to my intrusive thoughts often. So being social is great. 5 meals in, which is nuts. It's been enjoyable so far. I've spent an unbelievable amount of money here. I'm not looking forward to seeing my credit card statement. I then drove back home to Cleveland and stopped for an energy drink on the way. So here's another chance to boo me again if you weren't able to last time. And then took part in a 3-mile walk that I definitely filmed. Okay, I didn't actually film it. And since it wasn't as cold, I got to walk outside and that was absolutely fantastic. I love living in Cleveland. I'll never not live here, but Februarys are brutal. And when you don't see the sun for a very extended period of time, that stinks. So fresh air is great. I appreciate fresh air. And here's another opportunity for you to boo me because I am having a protein shake. Because again, I make the rules around here.
I don't think this counts, and if it does, I make the rules around here.
Yeah, I know. I just said that. And again, I was happy for Harley that another family was considering adopting him, but I still was, bummed. So I went over to my parents to pet their dogs to make myself feel a little better. Nothing like dog therapy, am I right? And I talked about anxiety a lot in my 50 Capitals video, and the reception seemed good, and I just really appreciate that. A lot of people shared their stories with me about anxiety, and I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate petting dogs because petting dogs makes me very happy. And another thing that makes me really happy is eating at the Cheesecake Factory.
Hey, look, it's the Cheesecake Factory.
And meal 6 might have been my best work yet. And I know I just said that for meal 5, but it's because I suffer from early onset recency bias. For meal 6, I got a tropical ginger cooler, a Barks root beer, house-made meatballs, pepperoni flatbread with hot honey, and Adam's peanut butter fudge ripple cheesecake. That's a lot of fucking words, but shout out Adam. The tropical ginger cooler was really tasty. Like, no, it was really tasty. I felt like I was drinking a beverage on the beach. Just kidding. It felt like I was drinking something in a frozen tundra in February. The Barks root beer tasted like Barks root beer. The house-made meatballs, oh my goodness. Maybe my favorite appetizer I've had so far. I would eat 100 if I could. Just kidding, 27, but still, that's a lot. And I'm not kidding you guys. The flatbreads at Cheesecake Factory, wow, they might be my favorite items here overall. My waiter John suggested I get the pepperoni flatbread with hot honey on it, and boy, was he not wrong. I don't know where hot honey came from. It felt like it came from completely out of nowhere, but I tell you what, whoever invented it, I want to name all my future children after you regardless of gender. And John also recommended that I get a slice of his favorite cheesecake, Adam's peanut butter fudge ripple. And he was right. This is my favorite cheesecake so far. I told John he knows ball, and he said, I know. Just kidding. He didn't say that. He was way more humble. And if you're wondering why I haven't used any audio from inside the Cheesecake Factory, it's because they play music very loud, and that loud music is copyright, and this is how I make money, so I'm not going to do that, okay?
I'm eating the entire Cheesecake Factory menu in 2025, and I've had 43 items so far this year. I've eaten 15% of the menu, and that means I only have 232 items to go. I'm so cooked.
And since I visited Harley that morning and only walked a little bit outside, I had to go back to hit my fitness goals and not be a total piece of shit today. I try to be as consistent as possible working out, especially since I eat like a complete fool. Some days I can give a lot of energy, other days I cannot, but I think if I have, consistency and discipline, that'll, help me survive. But maybe I should also eat better here soon. After 2 days and 6 meals, I've eaten 20 items, an average of 3.3 items a meal, even though a third of an item doesn't make any sense at all. I've had 4 slices of cheesecake after having a ridiculous 3 slices for day 1, and I've burnt 3,668 calories while moving, and have moved 24.17 miles in the past 2 days, making me well ahead from my fitness goals, which is fantastic. So if I somehow gain weight from this, that's wild. On day 3, I was thinking to myself, my brain is not here.
My brain is not here.
But also, it's my last day at eating at the factory, which is sad because I really enjoy being here, but also it's a good thing because my wallet is financially cooked right now. I only had time to walk a mile that morning because I slept in because it's hard to wake up when there's no sunlight. Also, good news for the haters, there's 2 chances to boo me right now. Usually you gotta pay extra for that because I had coffee and then Pepto-Bismol back to back. Before heading to the Cheesecake Factory, I called the Franklin County Dog Shelter just to get an update about Harley, and that's when I found out that the family that was scheduled to meet him after me ended up not adopting him. And obviously I was bummed for him, but he is very well taken care of at that shelter. They do love him very much. And also maybe this means that I should adopt him. I want to provide some context here really quick. I go on a bunch of trips in the next month for content, and it just wouldn't be fair for me to adopt Harley and then go on those trips. So I told myself if he's still at the shelter by the time I come back from these trips in the next month, there's a very good chance I adopt him. Otherwise, I will do everything in my power to make sure that he gets adopted. He is the best dog ever. So if you want to adopt him, adopt him. Otherwise, I might. Okay, back to the video.
Having coffee and then Pepto-Bismol and then coffee again probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but here we are.
And I went to a daily mass to say some prayers for Harley and also spent some quiet time in a very peaceful spot. So I feel pretty good this morning with the power of God and Pepto-Bismol on my side. Speaking of which, I had to get more after mass because I ran out. Pepto-Bismol, please email my agent immediately. For meal 7, I got diarrhea. Just kidding. But for food, I got their signature lemonade, and off their Skinnylicious menu, I got chicken taquitos and an Asian chicken salad. So to provide some context, Skinnylicious items are items that are typically on the regular Cheesecake Factory menu, but at a lower calorie option. And for this challenge, whenever there is an item that is on both the regular and Skinnylicious menus, I am only counting it as one item. I'm not eating both. Yes, you can boo me right now. The signature lemonade was sensational, and the sugar rim was a very nice touch, Cheesecake Factory. Well done. I used to come to the Cheesecake Factory all the time in high school and college, whether it was like a first date or a birthday dinner with me and my twin. And I'm not kidding you, before this year, the only entree I've ever had at the Cheesecake Factory was their shepherd's pie. I've had nothing else. Apparently, I was just scared of big menus. Just because it's big doesn't mean it's scary. I wouldn't know what that's like though. However, what was not delicious to me was the Asian chicken salad. I'm sure other people enjoy it, and I'm really happy for you guys because there's more for you, but I just think I don't like salads very much. I might not be a big salad guy. And I'm not going to reveal my entire rankings because we don't have time for that right now, but let's just say right now in dead last might be the Asian chicken salad, behind like literal broccoli and corn. However, the chicken taquitos were pretty solid, nothing crazy, but I did enjoy having them. 7 meals down, 2 to go. Shout out math. I went back to my apartment to do some editing for a couple hours for a podcast clip, which, if you're curious, was on if this was a real order you could place at Starbucks or not. Venti mocha cookie frappuccino with 2% milk, 6 pumps of mocha, extra caramel and mocha drizzle, extra whipped cream, extra cookie crumble, extra praline topping, extra dark chocolate curls, 2 pumps of toasted white mocha, extra sugar cookie topping, 4 pumps of dark caramel, extra caramel crunch, light apple drizzle, 3 pumps of frappuccino roast, 9 scoops of Java chips, double blended, and a sprinkle of cinnamon powder.
Go f yourself!
And that's when I decided to place an online order for meal 8 to go. MEAL 8 to go. That was kind of a bar. And the online ordering system is pretty easy, actually. It's very seamless to scroll through the huge menu. And wait, does that say $31? I don't mean that in a negative way, by the way. That's pretty cheap for a Cheesecake Factory menu. In fact, that is the cheapest meal I've had at the Cheesecake Factory all year, which is like wild to say because I had the Costco hot dog meal for a week, and that entire week was $43.50. Man, I love hot dogs. And speaking of which, if you want a shirt that says I love hot dogs, you can get one at suryacht.com. Please show your support for Glizzy's. They've always been there for us. I ordered meal 8 for an hour out so I could get a solid 4-mile walk in on the treadmill beforehand. And I'm mostly just yapping here. There's no need for me to use the audio from here. I'm just saying words per usual. And for my second to last meal of this 3-day bender, I got honey roasted carrots, a bee sting flatbread, and an Arnold Palmer drink. I love how I had to specify right there that I was getting the Arnold Palmer drink as opposed to, you know, the Arnold Palmer golfer. Like I was gonna, yeah. Anyways, I probably didn't need to say that. But there was something a little not great about this Arnold Palmer drink. Like, don't get me wrong, it tasted fantastic. I really liked it. I was like, wow, this is one of the best items on this menu that I've had twice. Because I had it previously this year on January 31st. Okay, so I realized that I'm wearing the same shirt as I was right there. And also right now, I really like this shirt. But I promise you, it was a different day. Look, daytime, you see the daylight, daytime, nighttime. Boom! Now, I thought I did a pretty good job keeping track of everything I've had on this challenge so I wouldn't duplicate it, but it turns out I didn't do a great job at all. So even though I enjoy the Arnold Palmer, it does not count as one of my 275 items I need to consume here. The honey glazed carrots and bee sting flatbread, however, most definitely count. I don't typically enjoy carrots, and I enjoy these carrots because Cheesecake Factory made it so that they didn't taste like carrots. And oh my goodness, I am not kidding you guys, the bee sting flatbread is in the running for one of my favorite items I've had at Cheesecake so far.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to reveal my top 5 until the end of the video, but this is in my top 5, and it's not 5 or 4 or 3 or 1. It's 2. Yeah, it is the second best item I've had here so far. Okay, I did reveal it. The flatbread was so good. Heck, I'd get stung by a bee again just so I can eat it one more time. But that's a really stupid thing to say, so maybe I'll cut that out from this video. Hey everyone, it's me here from the future. I obviously didn't cut it out because you're seeing it right now. And I should have definitely cut this part out too because, wow, my face is an absolute mess. And you're probably like, hey, it's always a mess because you're ugly. And to that I would say, what are you, my producer? Because I don't see you. And everybody sit down and get ready because this is your last chance to boo me during this video, okay? You ready? Okay, here we go. I had another protein shake. That's right, get those boos out. I pretended to read on camera for 15 seconds before heading to a boxing class before my last cheesecake meal. I was super excited because I haven't boxed in a while, and taking those classes is basically just as good as therapy for letting your emotions out. However, I'm not kidding you guys. This is very on brand for me. I literally did 1 squat in the warm-up and pulled my hamstring and groin. So I had to quit the workout before even throwing a punch. I am a walking punchline. Minus the punches that I didn't throw during that class.
Oh, unbelievable. I'm such a bitch.
And the worst part of all this is, I lied earlier. You guys can boo me again right now. Because I got an energy drink right after because I was sad I couldn't do the workout and I wanted to treat myself with some caffeine because I'm an idiot. I really got to be more strict with myself next eating challenge. I've really deviated. I started my first meal on a very classy note, and I really wanted to make sure I'd end it on a classy note as well. So I dressed up real fancy-like, including wearing my pit vipers.
Now that's classy.
There's nothing more fancy than that, baby. And heading to Cheesecake for meal 9.
Hey, it's good to be back at the Cheesecake Factory.
Do this.
For my last meal of this video, your boy had to treat himself to some very classy food. I got a peach lemonade, not that classy, but a filet mignon, very classy. Also, fun fact, the first time I saw that, I pronounced it as filet mignon. That's insane. Sauteed spinach and a chocolate tuxedo cheesecake slice. Now, originally upon looking at the menu, I was like, damn, that filet mignon is very expensive. But guess what? I'm going to have the entire menu this year, so I can eat it now and justify it. Plus, it might be a tax write-off. The peach lemonade from here was just as good as their regular lemonade. I could bathe in that stuff. It was so good. And you can trust me on that because I literally made a video a few years ago where I bathed in ketchup for 12 hours. The sauteed spinach was actually tasty. I thought it'd be mediocre because vegetables and I don't really get along, but it was really flavorful. It still ranks pretty low on my list because it's a vegetable. Nothing personal. The filet mignon was cooked excellently, and I asked the waiter if he could sneak me some A1 steak sauce without anybody seeing, and he said, I won't judge you. And that's when I said, wait, you were thinking about judging me? I think steak sauce makes every steak taste better. Hannah Montana said it best, nobody's perfect. And you already know I've never had a bad cheesecake slice here, and actually this chocolate tuxedo cheesecake was super nostalgic because it was the last item I had in my Skyline Chili Weekly Eating Challenge because they were doing a promo with the Cheesecake Factory for that specific cheesecake. I'm gonna stop talking because I can't breathe right now. And at that point, I could officially say I completed another unnecessary degenerate eating challenge.
Mission accomplished. Oh, I really think I tore my groin. Oh.
Hey guys, just wanted to give you a real quick update. I didn't tear my groin. That is a serious diagnosis to just completely mess up. So wanted to let you know, didn't tear my groin. In fact, I ran 7 miles the next day. I was just being a giant bitch. Okay, back to the video.
And also now, here are the results that nobody asked for. In 3 days of putting in work at the factory, I consumed 29 items, an average of almost 10 per day and 3.2 per meal, which decimals don't make sense for meals. And at that pace, it would take me 85 meals to finish this project. And now I'm going to stop thinking about that because what the f***, that is so many meals I have to eat at Cheesecake Factory this year. I consumed 5 slices of cheesecake, bringing my total up to 9 overall in 2025. And since they have 44 different slices of cheesecake, that means I only have 35 to go. I've also consumed 52 total items from Cheesecake Factory in 2025, which means I only have 223 more to go. I hit my fitness goals on day 3 despite not being able to complete literally 1 squat at boxing class, moving a total of 33.4 miles in 3 days, an average of 11.13 per day, and burned a total of 5,311 calories while moving, well exceeding my goal of 1,500 calories burnt while moving per day. I weighed myself before the project, and now I'm going to weigh myself after the project, and could you believe it? I lost 2.2 pounds.
Whoa, I lost weight.
So yeah, again, please don't follow my lead. I am a professional dumbass. Thank you. 2 more results, so hang with me here. First, you're probably wondering how much I spent in 9 meals at the Cheesecake Factory. And please sit down for this one because this is crazy. On 9 meals at the Cheesecake Factory, I spent a total of $406.04. I am unwell. And lastly, my top 5 favorite items I've had so far to date from the Cheesecake Factory are as follows. And number 5 are avocado egg rolls that I had previously to this video. Number 4, Adam's peanut butter fudge ripple cheesecake that I had during this video. 3, Korean fried chicken I had in January. 2, the bee sting flatbread I had on day 2. And number 1, chicken Madeira, which is a lot of people's favorites and also mine because I want to fit in. I'll keep you all posted on Harley. He is the best dog ever, so whoever adopts him, if it's me or somebody else, that, like I said, best decision you're ever going to make in your entire life. And also, thanks for listening to me talk a lot about my anxiety during this video and for your support. I'm so blessed to be a YouTuber. I'm so damn thankful for all of you. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next episode, and I'll also see you later in the year for the Cheesecake Factory project when it's done. And it's going to be a bad year to be a cheesecake. That's all I'll say.
I'm not kidding. I've been back for 30 seconds and immediately had diarrhea.
I know what I like, baby.